Kent Hovind seems to be going after all and sundry recently on his Whack-an Atheist YouTube show, and recently he decided to have a go at channel friend Emma Thorne. We cannot be having that now, can we? Roll the titles. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thanks very much for joining me. Right, on with today's video, which as I mentioned at the start is Kent Hovind attempting to whack channel friend Emma Thorne. Now, here at Simon Dan, we love other skeptical-minded content creators, and Emma Thorne is one such creator. And she's covered for me before when I've had a break on this channel, and she makes excellent videos. Link for her channel's in the description, by the way. And in one of these videos, Emma mentions contradictions in the Bible. Now, Kent has seen this, and he's not happy. He starts by watching some of that video we mentioned from Emma, and then he begins. You can tell though, from the start, he's not happy.
You can do this very easily, okay? All you need is a pencil, a piece of paper, and a Bible. Okay. Does the Bible contradict itself? Emma, when I click this, 99,000 people have watched this from 10 days ago. You're influencing a lot of people. I'd suggest you really be careful. Emma, I'd bet $5 you didn't find any of these contradictions at all. You found a book that had contradictions in it, and you copied them out of there.
Now, she may have done that, but knowing Emma, who, by the way, has read your entire dissertation, Kent, I think she would have done all this work herself.
So, very easily, pencil, paper, Bible. It's answer, okay? I'd bet that same $5, because that's all I've got, that you have never read the entire Bible one time.
Let's look at the Bible that Emma was holding at the start of her video. Does that look like a Bible that's not been read? No, it doesn't. You're $10 down, my friend.
Mm-hmm. You got all these contradictions from previous skeptics who, like you, want the Bible to be wrong, so they can, in their evolved mind, reject its teachings. So, all you need, let's see, I know my video will not change you, but maybe some of your subscribers and viewers will be honest, wise and honest enough to see through your rant here and come to Christ when they see both sides. Christ, maybe, okay? So let's give an answer to those with ears to hear.
Okay, Kent, I will give you a chance.
The Bible talks about having ears. Some people don't have ears to hear. They got ears, but they won't listen. Just won't listen. So, does the Bible contradict itself? Yes, she says. I'm sorry, I disagree. You said in Luke's telling of the story, let's see, Luke and Matthew provide different father. That's true. Okay, let's see. Does the genealogy in Matthew contradict the one in Luke? Well, in Matthew, this is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, Isaac begat Jacob. It goes on through all these different guys. And down at the bottom, verse 6, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon, of her that had been the wife of Urias.
Okay, I'm going to pop in with a bit of context quickly. Emma said this.
Luke and Matthew both provide a different father for Joseph. Luke gives his father as Heli, Matthew gives his father as Jacob.
And this is true. Both books depict different fathers for Joseph.
So the genealogy goes from Jesus Christ, or from David, down through Solomon. When you read the story, there it is, Solomon begat Rehoboam, and it goes down in verse number 16. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. I mean, you need to learn to read the Bible carefully, okay? Come to our Bible study here.
Okay, this is great, but what of Luke?
See, in Matthew and Luke, there are different genealogies. It's the same all the way from Abraham through David. Boaz, Obed, Jesse, David, no change. But they change after David, and there's a good reason for that, Emma. In Luke, it says, Jesus, being about 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli, which is one of the, it goes through this whole generational thing, okay? Clear back to King David again.
Okay, great. So why is that then? Why make it confusing?
So in Matthew and Luke, they are different from King David on. Shealtiel, Zerubbabel, and then the names change, sure enough. Eleazar, Matthan, Jacob, Joseph, Jesus. Let's see. Levi, Matthan, Heli, Joseph, Jesus.
Seems way too complicated. It's almost as if they were written years apart, isn't it?
Jesus' genealogy is given in two different places, Matthew and Luke. Matthew traces the genealogy from Jesus to Abraham. Luke traces from Jesus to Adam. However, there's good reason to believe that Matthew and Luke are in fact, tracing different genealogies.
This is irrelevant though. As far as I'm aware, there's only one definition of father in that context. They both claim that different people are Joseph's father.
Okay? Matthew is following Jesus' line, the line of Joseph, Jesus' legal father, even though he was not his physical father.
The less said about that one, the better.
Through David's son Solomon. You see, Solomon was the king. So by being in the line of Solomon, Jesus had the right to be the king of Israel. But Luke is following the line of Mary. That's Jesus' blood relative, his mother, through David's son Nathan. Nathan was the prophet. These be the sons of those that born to David there in Jerusalem. You got Shammah and Shobab and Nathan.
But Mary is Joseph's wife. Why call Mary's father Joseph's father? Do you see where I'm coming from here? It all seems way too complicated.
Emma, you are correct, the genealogies are different, but you are wrong to say it's a contradiction. It's actually more proof God's word is inspired without error.
Father, a man in relation to his child or children. In this context, it cannot mean anything else. Therefore, this is a contradiction.
Then she said, Jesus refused to be touched or held. So why did Jesus say, don't touch me? A couple days later, he invited Thomas to touch him. Is that a contradiction? Now, keep in mind, folks, the atheists don't want God telling them what to do, okay? And if you spend 1,000 hours answering all their supposed contradictions, they're just going to look for more. It won't faze them. Here's the story, though, that she's claiming is a contradiction. Jesus said to Mary, Jesus said unto her, Mary, and she turned to him and said, Rabboni, which is to say, Master. He said, touch me not. Why? For I have not yet ascended to my Father. He just got out of the tomb. She came there that morning. He rose out of the tomb. He said, don't touch me. I haven't yet ascended to my Father.
Yeah, to be fair, if I'd just risen up from the dead, I'd be a bit cranky too.
But then later, a couple of days later, Thomas, one of the 12, but doubting Thomas, called Didymus, which means twin, was not with them when Jesus came. And he said, except I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger in the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. So Jesus came 8 days. After 8 days, the disciples were within, and Thomas was with them. And he said, peace be unto you. Hey, Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands. Emma, this is 8 days later.
But correct me if I'm wrong, 8 days later, like you say, he still not would have ascended, would he? So again, contradiction. Let's move on.
So the serpent said to the woman, yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Satan's goal is to make people doubt God's word. Emma, you are blinded and you're working for the devil. You're trying to help people doubt God's word. Just word of warning.
Emma, why would you work for Big Red? Come on now. I've been instructed to move on.
Okay? The words of the Lord are pure, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord. Thou shalt preserve them. So if you're a biblical literalist, literalist I am. Okay? I encourage you to watch this video. I did. Okay? Do your own research. I did. Dig a little deeper. I did. Hopefully, maybe reconsider the position. I did. I was right and you are wrong. I reconsidered. Emma, okay?
Kent can never, ever admit that he's wrong. I don't know about you, but I was not really convinced by his explanations there.
He said the Hebrew Bible has a conflict between Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. Is there contradictory stories? Oh, no, Emma. You need to learn to read. I know you're raised in England. I'm not sure how they teach reading skills over there, but I can help you here. Or watch this now. There are two creation stories in Genesis. Oh, this guy, Pathos, he thinks there's contradiction. There are 2 creation stories. Yep, it's a contradiction, they say, right off the bat. Detailing the 2 stories disagree. Were the plants made before the humans or after the human, plants and animals? This is what you pointed out, Emma, okay? Infidels and infrahels. They say, let's see, contradiction. There we go. Genesis 1 has the trees made before man. Chapter 2 has man created before the trees.
Now, I actually did look this up, and it is true. There are conflicting accounts of when things were created.
That's correct. Bingo, you got it. Chapter 1 has the birds created before man, and chapter 2 has man created before the birds. That's exactly correct, and it's not a contradiction at all. I'll show you, Emma, okay? Chapter 1 has animals created before man, and chapter 2 has man created before the animals. Exactly correct.
Interesting stance here from Kent. Let's see how this plays out.
Here's the supposed contradictions. Chapter 1 has grass, plants, and trees made on day 3. Chapter 2 has grass, plants, trees made on day 6 after man. Chapter 1 has birds made out of the water. Chapter 2 has birds made out of the ground on a different day. Chapter 1 has animals made before man. Chapter 2 has animals made after man. It's real simple, Emma.
Where is he going with this?
Look, listen to me. On day 3, God made the plants. On day 5, God made the birds out of the water. On day 6, he made the animals. Then he made man. Then he made the garden and put man in it. Then he made more trees grow, only the trees that are good for food. And out of the ground God made one more of each animal for Adam to name them and select a wife. The rest of the world's already full of animals. He's just making one more of each one for Adam to pick.
Hang on. So your explanation here is that for Genesis 1, all of the creations are for the entire world, but for Genesis 2, all the creations were just for the Garden of Eden after Adam was put there. Do I have that right? All I know is that Kent seems to have taken this one pretty personally, and I'm still not entirely convinced with all his explanations. So I think we'll call this a day today and say we're all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Kent's explanations regarding Emma's contradictions in the Bible, and I will say once again that we are all done. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this one, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Hitting the thumbs up button too would be fantastic, and sharing too, if the feeling takes you, would be very much appreciated. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all Friday for the revelations of the final experiment down in Antarctica. See you then.